Gustavo Poyet is with us. He was witness to the part of the career of Julen Lopetegui, ex-Spain manager, ex-Real Madrid manager, where it began to look, and was subsequently proven, that he must have broken into a mirror factory and smashed them all with a black cat on Friday the 13th, having walked under a ladder. Unlucky? Lopetegui? Yeah, think about the Super Cup of 1995 at the Camp Nou against Zaragoza, one of the most incredible matches in Spanish football history. It's here. When and why did Gustavo Poyet nearly sign Van Dijk? The miracle of Sunderland? What do you mean you don't remember? This is Gus Poyet, friend, Uruguayan leader, jumper, phenomenal talker, one of the best big interviews you'll ever hear. Stay tuned. One of the talented footballers that you work with that didn't make your number one place was Berbatov. I don't know if you approved or didn't approve. Robbie Keane is a Uruguayan with an Irish passport in terms of like, I'm going to win, this is how I'm going to win, this is how often I'm going to win.
I think he understood exactly what we needed and it was very good because it's a great character to have around and how he got into that team. Berba totally the opposite. Berba very quiet, but like any top football player, he's done things in football. I don't remember exactly the number, and I don't know if we can corroborate it, but it's an anecdote about Berba which is very important. Just to explain to people that it's not all numbers, all analysis. He scored 4 goals one game against Reading. We won 6-4, I think, or whatever it was. And it was by far, but what I mean by far, imagine by far, the player who ran the less in that game.
I think anybody who ever saw Timmy understands what you're saying.
Now, are you going to tell him that he needs to run more when he just scored 4? You know what I mean?
That'll do.
You know, he was in that position that you wanted to say something. I said, Berba, come on. A little bit more. But you couldn't. He scored 4.
How can you run with a cigar in your mouth, man?
Yeah,
it's not possible.
No, it's amazing. And I had a great relation with him as a coach, because when you are not the manager, you can get closer to the players. I remember one training session that we're going to start playing a very small game. I think it was 5 or 6v6 or 5v5. And he's staying at the back in his team. And I'm looking at him saying, Berba, go from. You know, like. And so he challenged me. What, do you think I cannot play at the back? I said, no. Oh my God, what a game he played at the back. He started anticipating people, reading the game better than anyone, passing, scoring from the back, playing 1-2, getting in, going back. So he was able to do it. It was when he wanted to challenge you.
Sometimes you challenge a footballer and they do special things that they don't need to do until they're pushed.
I was there in the side watching and thinking, you know, what the... Yes.
You should be going, I did that.
No, but it was incredible.
We've talked about a Uruguayan hunger for the sport, a Uruguayan hunger to find solutions to beat teams, particularly if it's Argentina or Brazil. Let's talk about a different kind of hunger. How hungry were the players at Spurs when Juan de Ramos was the manager? And Dr. Hunger...
Because no eating. That type of hunger.
Escribano was the... They were hungry.
I think you need to... You know, we need to put all in consideration, and of course that was the main point. First and most, I have to be honest, and without saying names, there were 5 or 6 players that were very, very overweight. Point number 1. Clearly. It's not like it was something that you do it for the sake of it. So those 5 or 6 players, they needed a special diet and treatment. We even made a group, that after training, the fitness coach, Marcos Alvarez, myself, with those 5 or 6 players, we stayed longer and we had a jog, a half an hour jog, to help them to lose weight. Now, it was the first time we met with the doc and with Juan de and with all these rules and what we needed to eat. And yes, they cut so many things that you will see nowadays, maybe. But it's a way of working. Another thing is that it worked for them in Sevilla and they won 2 or 3 UEFAs, so for them it was natural. It was not natural for English football. Now, that was the reason why they were not playing well. I think the main thing was, after making a big impact, Juan de, and winning the last cup that Spurs won, 2008, in the summer we got so many good players at the same time that it was quite difficult for him to gel them in the way that he was training and playing. And the atmosphere wasn't great because they were very, very good players that we pay a lot of money, not even making the bench. And that, if you don't have results first or you manage it the best way possible, then you lose the job. I said it when we lost the job, and I still agree. And I think we deserved it to get sacked. We couldn't win a football game. And you have to be honest and say, yeah, you're right. If we cannot win a football game with Modric, Pavlyuchenko, that 15 million, with Bentley, they pay 15 million. Something is not right. So it wasn't possible. Then Harry got the job. Apparently, he put the ketchup back on the table.
He said, "Are you hungry, guys? And you look like you need feeding up."
But it's true. It was very, very controlled. Very, very controlled. I don't think that proves you that it's not right or wrong in football.
No.
What is right in Sevilla?
Correct.
It was not right in Tottenham. Simple.
And until you're ready for that realization, you're going to make more mistakes because something that's perfect, it isn't working. Well, I have idea B, C, and D, and I need to adapt. I need to change. Like you adapted as Nunez, who's the coach of Uruguay, asked you to do.
Yeah.
Coaches have to adapt. Fitness coaches have to adapt. Presidents, players, agents, they have to adapt. I can't ignore the fabulous time at Chelsea, and I'm going to ask you one of our sponsors' questions. But like this summer, I was in Russia, producing for Spain in the World Cup, TV producing for them. And I watched Lopetegui in his attitude and his training and making a really bad decision about what to do. You saw Lopetegui, the player. In fact, one of the most extraordinary football matches Spain's ever seen, you participated in with Lopetegui briefly in the other goal, because the Super Cup, once you'd won the cup, was between Zaragoza and Barcelona, Johan Cruyff's Barcelona, I think. And the first leg was at the Romareda, and you lost
2-0.
2-0.
That's everything we're going to talk. We went over there and we won.
Busquets' dad was kicked out of the goal because, just like Sergio Ramos last night, they were like, "Oh well, we're 2-0 up and we're going to the Camp Nou, so we can give Lopetegui a game in goals." And
but it was 4-5.
So 5-4 Zaragoza.
5-4 Zaragoza
in the Camp Nou.
Funny thing, when you know the rules, but when you are in the middle of the game, you get blocked. We lost 2-0. And we were over there and we were winning 5-4. So it's a player in Zaragoza, Fernando Cáceres, the centre, that thinking that we are champions. Because he's thinking, okay, they're 2 goals away, they're double. So it's 4. Plus 4 they scored today, 8. But we score 5 away, it's 10 because it's double. So we're winning. And we say, no, first you need to add normal. They are 6 and we are 5. And if it's a draw, you go to the away goal. I said, okay, we need to score another one. Yes, Lopetegui, yes. It was, especially remember one of the goals that probably was, unfortunately, his mistake.
It kind of went vaguely through him almost, really. Yeah. But like...
I think there are decisions in football that they want to mark your career as a football player, as a coach. And you need to put yourself in that situation. I think it was unfair from everyone because he was in a position to be maybe the possibility of winning a World Cup.
Yeah.
And at the same moment, they put the possibility of being the Real Madrid coach. I think it's unfair from Real Madrid as well in certain steps. But the problem is that nowadays anything can happen anytime, and you need to be ready, and you need to accept things or no. You know, one of the things I like me that I say to people, and it comes into this, no is part of the dictionary.
Oh, that's why I'm asking you. That is why I'm asking you.
Because you can literally say, no, now I'm the coach of the national team of Spain. For me, you can manage your best teams in Uruguay, no, Peñarol Nacional. But there is nothing like managing the national team of Uruguay. That's the way I feel football. When you're in the national team of your country, you're at the top. Now, for some reason, it looks to Lopetegui that it was the...
I'm kind of asking you, if you were the Spain coach in that situation, I was already anticipating that you're going to take a look at what's in front of you, how you've got there, the Real Madrid situation, Zidane's words, and my anticipation was you would have said no.
Well, because I think when somebody like Real Madrid choose you, you will go there. You know, when they're talking now about Pochettino going to Madrid, they're talking so much that sooner or later we go there. It's not like it has to go one summer or the next summer.
Correct.
It will go in 5 years' time. And if Lopetegui was the right person for Real Madrid president, it will be the right person at any time. Very strange why at that time. Very strange. No, like I'm half Spanish, no, but like a Spanish, it really hurt. When the news that came out, I was like, why is going on here? Why? The timing. Why? Why people can hurt other people so much? And then what happened to the national team, it reflects that decision of that moment.
They tossed away an opportunity.
Incredible.
And I bring that to this game because he sent off that day in 90 minutes. And it seemed like there was, right through his career, there's been a theme of bad luck, bad decisions. And elite people don't do certain things. And that day in the Camp Nou for the 5-4 win for Zaragoza, Cáceres is sent off, Stoichkov is sent off, Lopetegui is sent off, Jordi Cruyff comes on to play for his dad's team. It must be one of the weirdest days.
It was weird because we went there. Remember that Barcelona was incredible, no? It was the dream team. And we were trying to find ways to beat them. You know, one day everybody at the back, and they pressing really high, and they playing direct, and they trying to get the ball away from them. You know, anything that you can do. Marking, and that I'm talking about the 90s, no? All the games I was marking Koeman and Guardiola, and just to stop them from whatever you try to do, just to beat them, because it was. And then you go in a game that you lost at home 2-0 against Barcelona. You're not going to turn that around at the Nou Camp, and you're winning 5-4. You know, we were on the pitch like dreaming. Every time we attack, we score. I'm sorry for Lopetegui, but it was like 1-2, and we were that close to win that cup, which at the end we didn't. But it was a special day for us that maybe put us in a situation to be better, you know, as a team. A
9-goal game and still you don't win. Our sponsors, Bet365. I've got a nice simple question.
Yes.
You scored some absolute screamers for Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Which goal was your favourite?
I picked two because they are the same games. My favourite with Chelsea were the two I scored against Newcastle in the semi-final at the FA Cup at Wembley. Yeah, I don't go with the Real Madrid. I should, because it's
the 1-0 in the Super Cup.
Because it's a final, but for me, Wembley, the old Wembley was so special.
Why?
It was a unique stadium, unique. It was no one like Wembley. The pitch was probably the best I ever played in my life in terms of grass. It was outstanding. And when you were able to play a final at Wembley and walk from behind the goal to the red carpet in the middle, those 3 minutes, anyone can pay for that, because they are amazing 3 minutes. And being able to score at that pitch in an important game for us, to make us winning after, because having Roberto Di Matteo in your team, he will always score in finals, like Drogba. It was my moments, yes.
Those are the ones you've chosen, and you win that cup final against Aston Villa with the early goal. Because we still need to talk about, before we finish, Llegada and the miracle of Sunderland, and Virgil van Dijk. Mm-hmm. What do you take from the Chelsea experience? Do you think most about the cup final against the current German managers, Stuttgart. Joachim Low was the coach. They had fantastic players. Some Franco Zola's left on the bench. You win. Do you think about I was at that game. I was at 5-0 against Manchester United, the most remarkable United performance I've seen. Give us the things that stick with you most about the Chelsea experience. Luca, Vicenza, the 3-1 win. Robbie Di Matteo sat in the seat that you're in and saying that when he went off that game, or he was so tense he had to walk out of the stadium and walk down the Fulham Road just to go home because he couldn't bear it anymore and didn't know the result till he got home against Vicenza.
Well, that's a special moment for me, and I'm pleased that Robbie said that, because I was coming back from my injury, my crucial ligament. It was 5 months and a half. I was nearly ready, and I was trying to come back, but I had a little bit of time during the weekend. And then Robbie suspended, if I'm not wrong, and Dan Petrescu would get ill the night before. So Gianluca kind of pushed me like that, say, okay, it's your time. And
his first game in charge?
First game.
Luca's first game as manager?
I'm thinking if I'm going to last. Okay? Now, because we were losing, we lost 1-0 at Vicenza, and we started losing 1-0 at home. We needed to score 3. Luca made a few changes at halftime, and that was it. I was staying the whole game on the pitch. No, you don't imagine how I finished the game. I couldn't move for 3 days. It was like you never play football, and then one day you need to play a semi-final, and you give everything. Probably one of the games at Stamford Bridge with the biggest atmosphere that you can ever see, because at that Chelsea side, not the one that won the Champions League and the league, to reach a European final, it was something unique, and the way we turned things around.
Who scored the goals?
Me, Gianfranco, and Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes, incredible volley. Mark. I think to define what happened to me in Chelsea, and being totally honest and without please for a second try to be arrogant, for me it was too easy to play for Chelsea. My ability in that team, it was like a piece in the puzzle, like it's perfect, the shape, pack. It's like if you had to put someone to do something in a team, it was the perfect place. Because you can go to a team and something doesn't work, and nobody knows why. And I was able to play left side. If you ask me when I was in Zaragoza, you're going to Chelsea, but you're going to play in a 4-4-2 left, I would say to you, no chance. And then I played left for 3 years or 4 years without any problem, because we have a way of playing and understanding. And Graham Leso, Babayaro, coming and overlapping me, giving me the chance to go in the middle, giving me the freedom to get in the box. I remember Robbie Di Matteo telling me many times, stay wide. I said, I can't play wide, I need to come in the middle. But it was too easy. I was pleased to be in the tunnel, looking around. I will always define things, no? One, when I see Dan Petrescu, Robbie Di Matteo, Dennis Wise, and me, the 4 across midfield, I knew we have a chance. It was like we had an understanding with Petrescu, Di Matteo, and Wisey that was incredible. We had a little bit of everything. And then when you have Zola, which make you a better player, because he's so good that you become a better player, then it was that feeling of every game, it didn't matter where. We had the feeling that we were able to win it. So that extra thing.
That does the job of a sports psychologist, because you're already in the zone about it's not whether we win, it's just how we win today.
Yeah, we're looking at that and we think, we got a chance. And we were, I think with Chelsea, I didn't lose Old Trafford, I think, but with Tottenham I did, because the approach was different. You will go with that mentality of, we're going to keep the ball in here, and they're going to suffer. And the other way you were thinking, okay, let's go back a little bit because it's Man United, the champions. So that you said, set up already make you play the game differently. And I had that feeling that we were able to win things every year. Yeah, it did hurt, win the Premier League. We were so close, but we were missing something. I think, incredible what I'm going to say. We play so nice football that we miss it a little bit, that the bad side of the consistency. If you know what I mean, that the ugly 1-0 away from home in a Monday night, rainy in the north of England, we didn't have that side, and that's what we were missing. But the rest, we play incredible football and really enjoyable one.
But you had Dennis Wise.
Well, Dennis did his part, but we needed the whole team.
2-3 more of them.
Probably. But I mean, we, like I said, we were set up to play really, really good football. Nice.
It was at Chelsea I began to see understand more about Jegada, your Jegada. Yeah. We in this country, we maybe talk about, David Platt had it.
Yes.
We see it in the way Messi does it now. Although Messi is a breed apart, you can't say it's only genius. He has this Jegada. Yeah. Sometimes he'll wait really deep and then arrive. Sometimes he'll be high, and as it's beautiful, slow motion, you talk about, everybody's running past him, he's just taking 3 steps backwards, and then he comes on to the ball. Llegada means arrival in Spanish. And I don't think we've got a brilliant single phrase for it. We call it about somebody who arrives in the penalty box, we talk about timing, but llegada is arriving at the right place in the right moment. Right. You had that. Talk us through what it is and how you applied it. Even put yourself in a match situation. Yeah. What is it composed of?
Well, because I had the ability to, for example, head the ball and have the timing to head it or arrive at the right time. I was always paying attention. And I know this is going to sound a little bit madness, but I would like people to really understand what I mean and that it is possible. Okay, that if you think about it, it's possible. When I started going backwards on my position, when I played as a front, I was playing up front, I was inside the box all the time, so it was a matter of attacking the near post or the back post. When you're in a good, confident moment, you go near, it's coming near. When you go back, like you have that ability. When I was playing behind, I was finding it difficult to get into every action that the ball was going wide. So I needed to pick the right ones, I needed to know. And I started naturally, this is the crazy part, paying attention a lot to the players that were playing wide. Okay? I will tell you in Zaragoza. I started doing this in Zaragoza. For example, Gustavo Lopez. Okay? A left-footed player, very small, very 1v1 situation. And Gustavo had an ability that every time he went past the fullback, his cross will be high, back post, nice and ready for you to attack. But if he was in that situation that the right back was very strong and he couldn't really go past him, it will cross anyway, but it will be more a whip. So then you needed to attack in the near post. So I was always trying to learn who was playing with me, why, and which one was the ability of those players for me to take advantage. Okay? That's point number one. I know it's mad. By the way, it is players that they cross in a certain way because they got an ability, bend it. Beckham, bend it. You will know that he can do it, or well laces and ping it, but he will do the bending. If you start understanding that bend, when he put the ball there that is going to come, and you got the timing, oh my God. Yeah, it was a dream for me to play with Beckham. I would score 25 first season. So I started really paying attention to the wide players playing in my team, fullbacks or wide players, to take advantage of their ability for me to be in the right place.
And if you're playing left, then maybe you had to most think about Dan.
Well, Dan Petrescu was easy because with Dan we were roommates and we talk about football all day. That goal against Man United is not prepared, but it comes out of our relationship. Okay? When we're standing, I see that Edwin is right back. Normally play left back. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. It's really small. Okay? So I look at Dan.
This is Erwin,
yeah. I look at Dan and I call him and I say, Dan, Edwin is playing right back, I think. As soon as you get there, back post. Forget it. I'm gonna kill him. It's simple. It's not difficult, no? Now, I was not playing left because he was playing right back. He was always left back. It was a change that day Man United made to mark Gianfranco Zola.
They put
Neville, I think it was.
Gary Neville to try and man-mark?
Man-marking,
or
yes.
Phil?
Yes.
But it was a one-on-one to try and take Franco out of the game.
So that's why
they had to change.
Funny enough, it happened after 27 seconds. Dan gets the ball, we play from the middle, the ball goes back, and they give it to him. And because we just talk 45 seconds ago. He looked at me and he see me running and he's just playing in front of me. Then, okay, I need to get in front of Erwin. Taibi, I think, was the goalkeeper, is coming.
It was massive.
Wrong. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's an action that you create for your relationship of knowing and taking advantage of the position. But that understanding, yes, I had it. The other thing I used to do a lot as well for that, I was trying to get free. To get in the box free without marking. And I was very much doing that when I was linking the play and the play was going wide. I always look at the midfielder, where he was looking. And as soon as he was looking at the ball, I will disappear. I know it sounds crazy. I know that people say, it's not possible. I done it naturally. I was in a position that because I was not quick, if I was not taking advantage of somebody looking the other side, it happened with players naturally in the box. When they go in that, how you call it, the blank side, when you cannot see them. Mm-hmm. So like that, when the defender cannot look at the ball and you, and when they look like that, when they look, they're gone. Because you put yourself in a situation, you make it complicated for the defender. And I used to do that a lot with the center midfielders that they were supposed to mark me. As soon as they turn a little bit looking at the ball, I will disappear. Then when I'm in that angle where he cannot see me, then I can attack wherever I like, no? And that was... I don't think you can train the timing. You have to have a little bit, okay? I don't think. But I think through repetition, and then if a player got the capacity of learning and understanding, you can have that ability of attacking the ball at the highest point or to attack the ball in a certain point with a certain ability because it's training. Okay, if you don't head the ball and you're awful, you're not going to learn to head it fantastically. But I think a good heading of the ball, if you go that run, when you run in your post, very rare you will jump. It's more a run that you will head it in your running. So it's more about placing the ball, really, when you go and jump, that's a different matter. That's a different header. That's a direction, a power, so many things that they get involved. But I think that the main two things was, the timing and the ability to take advantage of my teammates and where the position was looking or paying attention.
You had it. That's the big thing. I think that because storytellers with pens or pencils or typewriters, we like to say, it's innate, it's magical, it's mystical. It's just got this, you can smell the
Smelly, I like that one. We say that.
So it sounds beautiful to read, but I think we always know that maybe it's not right. And when you ask the question, you strip the clothes away and you see the naked body. We've got to close to let you go and have your lunch and live your life, but there are two small things to talk about. I know that you'll be back coaching soon, and I know you're going to find the right setup and the right people, the right belief system where the structure is good to allow your talents to come out. You very nearly brought Virgil van Dijk to Britain long before he became
very famous.
The best defender in the history of the world, which he is now. What was the situation? He was at Groningen.
It was at Groningen. I got a phone call from the scouting department, the chairman, Tony Bloom, and they said to me, we would like you to go and watch this player at Groningen. So I went with Tariko, my assistant. We took the flight, we went over there, we watched the game. It's at home. It's incredible. It's so easy for him to defend in that situation. It was the same personality, big, quick, powerful, playing well with the ball. So, it took us half an hour to say,
yes, please.
Yes, please. Then at that time, I think it was 3 million euros or something like that for a defender. Brighton, I think it was the first year, if I don't remember wrong, in the championship. It was not a possibility, but it was an easy decision. It was a yes. Okay. Then when he went to Celtic, I realized it was logical. Then when he went to Southampton, I'm thinking, okay, here he's getting better and better. And then the last one, no? Probably people will think, we lost Brighton lost an opportunity to make a lot of money, but it happens a lot. But yes, we were there watching in that green and black, I think is the shirt, and it was too easy for him. It was very easy, so I'm pleased. I think for the first time, I'm like most, fans. We always pick player of the year, the one who scored the most goals, or the one is the best technically, blah blah blah. And we never look at goalkeepers or defenders. I think probably Van Dijk. Okay, Liverpool has to go on and win the league, probably, for him to be Player of the Year, but I would say they had to be in the top 3 for Player of the Year this year.
It always struck me, having seen him at Celtic, that the jump. Good luck to Southampton. They did well. They bought the right guy. They made money. But the big clubs must have been blindfolded, or sleeping, or stupid. Because at Celtic, even when I saw him at Camp Nou with Celtic losing 6-7-1, you knew. I phoned the guy at Celtic then, John Park, who'd signed him from Groningen, and I said he could play at Barcelona now. Right now,
we had an inquiry, Sunderland, but I think it was 10 million probably Southampton paid for it. It was impossible at Sunderland for a defender, no chance. So it was not like but it was good the trip, because when you go and see the player, his environment, and you see him, how impressive he was. Big, strong, powerful, calm. So calm. Sometimes he was on the ball in Groningen and people were running at him, and I was in the stand saying, play, play. He was so calm and play at the right time. We let him come close enough not to touch it and pass it. And wow. And look how he's now.
Here he is. So you're quite a good storyteller, because you brought me to the end point anyway by mentioning Sunderland. I want people not to forget that while you were very successful at Brighton, where you and Dennis were very successful at Leeds for a short time, but it was an equivalent of what's happening now with Bielsa. And it looked as if you were going to take them back to great times. You did things at Sunderland which were truly special. I mean, really special. The people will not understand that to stay up, you had to go to the Etihad to play Manchester City, who were going to be champions.
In a Wednesday night.
Yeah. You had to someplace. I can't quite read this. Stamford
Bridge, I think it is.
Yeah. Wait, no, the other one I can't remember.
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I said it.
So you lost them all, right? What happened? What happened?
It was. If think about us, okay, in a position where you get a team with 1 point from 7 games.
Yeah.
1 point from 7 games. You take your first game and you lose badly. So you got 1 point from 8 games. Okay? Then it doesn't matter the run that you have, because we had a very good run. It looks like you're gonna get out of the water, the head out of the water, but then you're gonna lose 2 or 3, so you back down again. And that happened during the season. In top of that, we were winning in the cup. And we go to the final that we can talk. That's why it's an incredible year, because we went to Wembley, being bottom of the table in the Premier League, okay? And winning at halftime 1-0 with Borini goal, even if Man City beat us at the end. Now, you are in a really bad situation, you got so many players injured, everything is looking bad. We play Everton at home and we score an own goal and we lose 1-0 and it looks like you're down. Why? Simply because what you said. You go Man City away, Chelsea away, Cardiff at home, Man United away, West Brom, Swansea. So, okay, Cardiff was 3 points because we were in the relegation battle with them. That was non-negotiable. West Brom was down in there as well. Swansea no so, but the other 3 away from home, they were Man City, top of the league. Chelsea never lost at home with Jose Mourinho.
78 games unbeaten at home.
And then Man United with a new manager, Ryan Giggs, after they beat someone 4-0 in his first game of final. So we went there but the first and most important, okay? The group was good. We couldn't really achieve that extra time of winning games. Then we had this group of players for the Man City game that was made practically himself. Okay, you made decisions. And we started losing 1-0 after a few minutes. And then we turned it around and then we drew 2-2, which it looked at that time bad. And it looked so bad that there is a goalkeeper, the sub Oscar Ustari, because Manone played. It came to me before I went to the dressing room. And this is something very special. And he asked me, please. He said, Oscar, to me, please, Gaffer, don't say nothing bad. The boys, they were outstanding, Even if we conceded the last minute and we drew 2-2, please. Because he was thinking that I will go to the dressing room really upset, saying how we, in the position that we are, how we can win this game, And I look at him and I was calm, to be honest. But it was pleasing, like somebody will care so much for the team. I don't know if that made us win at Chelsea 3 days later. But any kind of things that you can say from the manager in certain moments can affect the team, the moral of the team. And I remember going into the dressing room, talking to them like, how unlucky that second goal was and how well we done and blah, blah, blah. And looking at him, and he was so happy that was not really being hard on the players. And then we go 3 days later to Stamford Bridge, which nobody won for 77 games. And we beat them 2-1. And then we go home, and I knew we were going against Cardiff, with all respect to Ole Solskjaer was the manager, 4-0. And then we go to Old Trafford, and it's an atmosphere which is quite funny because it's a new manager, Ryan Giggs, and they have nothing to do in the league, and we beat them as well. And incredible, we get to West Brom, and that day I was very nervous. That was one of the worst days of my career. And it's very simple to explain. We were down, and now we done this incredible comeback. Imagine if we don't beat West Brom and we get safe. You know what I mean? Imagine if we lose against Swansea in that last game, and you don't know that, and you're still going down with that run of games in the middle. So it was like nothing had happened.
You could hear your dad's voice going,
Boy.
Against West Brom, we don't lose. Go sleep in your uncle's house.
And it was an incredible relief. I think it was a kind of miracle, because if you think at the run of game, a team that was bottom the whole year is very difficult. I think it was something unique that the players they were. I was not able to make changes. When we talk about tweaking and changing, everybody now change 2-3 players every game. I play the same team. Manone, Virginie, John O'Shea, I think it was Wes Brown and Marcos Alonso, Cattermole, I think was playing. Yeah, it's in the team. Cattermole, Seb Larsson. Well, for the first time in my life, and that's a very good point I want to make, and I hope Conor is listening, I've been never able to tell a player, you have 5 games. Whatever you do, you're going to play the next 5 games. With Conor Wickham. Conor Wickham was in and out of Sunderland on loan and in and out. And I was never playing or not playing. And because we had the strikers injured, I said, okay, Conor, nothing to lose. We are bottom. This is your chance. You got the last 6 games of the season.
It's the same feeling like you when the substitutes are all used against Vicenza and you're staying on and you've got the remainder of the game, you won't be taken off, so I just give everything I've got left. And he has 5 games, and whatever he feels like before those 5 games.
Now, imagine Conor Wickham before and after that. He scored 2 as the Etihad. He scored 1 at Stamford Bridge, 2 against Cardiff. He crossed for the goal at Old Trafford. I mean, he saved us. Because you depend on a player, a goalkeeper, or a striker who is going to score goals. But it was really special. I remember asking the chairman, he wants you to talk about next year straight away, And I said, Chairman, let me go on holidays, please. I lost 5 years of my life. Yeah, let me go on holidays. And unfortunately, it didn't work out the next year because we go from nothing to everything in 3 months, in 6 months. And there is a process in football. And I try to convince them. I try to talk to the people of Sunderland. I try to say things coming from outside to try to help. Everybody thinks that you're thinking only about you. And unfortunately, they are where they are. But I think it was an incredible, probably the best year they had at Sunderland.
Well, when people are, and I mean, I'm not saying listening to this, but when people are thinking about choosing Gustavo Poyet again, and I can't imagine that you're far from the mind of Marino or Roman Abramovich at Chelsea for one day. It can come, it can happen like that. Maybe you're part of a group that takes Zaragoza over, takes them up. The right club with the right structure, the right belief, it's coming. It's going to come. But what they need to remember is your season, because in that season, you didn't just reach the League Cup final.
Yes.
You beat Chelsea.
Yes.
After extra time, you beat Manchester United.
In the worst penalty shootout of the history of football.
I wasn't going to mention that.
2-1 in 10 penalties.
Did you name yourself as the 52nd penalty?
Probably.
Yeah. And no, Gus, will you take one? Yes, okay, Gus, I will.
There is an image that is incredible. When we take the first penalty and we miss, and they take the first penalty and miss, and then we miss again. I go to get the fitness coach and I say, we're going to chance it. And then we win it 2-1. No, but what I'm going to say to this is, the main thing, at the end, what we forget sometimes that we look about what a manager is sacking. When I went there, the owner told me, I need you to save us from relegation. Mm-hmm. I need this team in the Premier League.
You did it.
And when I left, I was 1 point above the relegation when they sacked me. Right or wrong, okay? So I done that. And the second thing that everybody asks me there, which is very important, is beat Newcastle. I play 3-1-3. So if we tell somebody goals, I don't know what they ask me for. Now the way we cannot, be perfect and play fantastic football or not. But I tell you, we had an understanding with the players that were very special. I had absolutely fantastic conversation with Lee Kattenborg, and I hope he remembers. Lee started seeing football differently, going on the pitch with a role to do certain things that were needed for the team. And he loved it. He embraced it. He said, I like this. Before I was going just to play midfield, and now I'm going in with responsibility, with the things to do, when to drop, when not to drop, when to follow, when not to follow. And he was really embracing that. And those situations took us to get safe. We needed a little bit of more, backup for the following year, because when there is that negativity, to change completely difficult. But I really enjoyed the time there.
I don't think anybody who's listening to this finds it hard to understand why you changed Catchmole, why you made the Chelsea fans love you. You exude the enjoyment of a life in football. You're one of the treasures of world football, and it's only left for me to say, Viva Uruguay.
Thank you very much. Gracias.